Risk on the PS4 and Xbox One. Should you buy it or not? That is a question I'm going to answer in this video. I am Max, aka Shockwave, and I'm going to review Risk right now. So let's go ahead. As you can see, this is Risk, the classic board game as you know it. It is developed by XOne, which is a studio somewhere in England, I believe. It is published by Ubisoft, together with Hasbro, of course, the publishers of the original board game, who own the copyright things. As you can see, it is Risk, but then like modernized. So you don't have your horses and cannons, but you have your tanks and helicopters, and everything is kind of modernized. The idea is that you are playing on a table, like you're the dictator in your room and you're controlling the war on the field. It is a pretty neat idea, but it doesn't look like anything really spectacular. Also, you have this AI woman which is talking throughout the entire game. I wouldn't mind her not being there because she's kind of annoying and she glitches out a couple of times too.
White AI, white AI, white AI.
But she's also pretty handy because she can give you advice on the field for what nation you should attack, what would be the most logical according to her. I must say it is not always the most logical according to a normal human brain. But you may see this as just Risk, very simple. It must be just like the board game, nothing more to add to that. But it is a bit more complicated because the developers do some things wrong that they really shouldn't have done wrong. Let's first start, of course, with the good things. It looks pretty cool, like I said. It plays pretty cool. It's of course Risk, like you know it. You can play it with your friends, with up to 4 controllers. And I think that is definitely the best way to play this game, because it has an online mode. The online is pretty... it isn't screwed up, but it is kind of impossible to find any matches. I don't know if there just aren't many people who play this game online, or there's something wrong with the matchmaking, but it's kind of a struggle to find matches with this game's online mode. And I had a few instances where I had a full match finally, and then the game just froze and everyone was gone. So the online mode of this game, I haven't had really good experiences with that. But well, you can do all of your standard Risk things. You can choose to fight with for capitals. You can choose to do the regular thing to control the entire world. But you can also have your ceasefire cards. So the one who has the most regions when the card is drawn wins. So the basic Risk rules and stuff are in the game. So that they did all right. But then there are some things they did really wrong, which they shouldn't really have done wrong, which are easy to patch. But of course, this is just a one-time job. It isn't like a first-party title from Ubisoft that they continually support or anything like Assassin's Creed. It's just a one-time job they release, and then it's pretty much done. So don't expect a patch, but they could have really easily patched the frame drops. This game has frame drops. Yes, your PS4 and Xbox One have 8 cores, a gigantic GPU, whatever, but all those teraflops aren't able to give this game a steady 60 frames per second. It's a shame. I think it has to do with the Uplay framework, because this game, excuse me not, but it has the Uplay Awards achievements framework. It has a Hasbro game channel, and then it of course has your PlayStation trophies or Xbox achievements. It has all these online communications which are totally pretty much useless. And I have a feeling, just like with Assassin's Creed Unity, that is kind of pulling down the frame rate, which is a real shame, which they can easily patch, but they won't, probably. Furthermore, the game seems to be kind of unfair. If you play against the CPU, the AI is most of the time against you and not against each other. also they kind of tend to, if you are attacking for a long time, you kind of tend to lose all the battles. Even though you have like 8 troops against 2, you still lose, and that is something I really notice. And it's I don't know if it makes the game better, but it's kind of unfair. It's kind of like FIFA, you know. EA does that too. When you're winning a lot of matches, they kind of make everything worse. They kind of tend to control the game, which isn't, I feel like it isn't fair. It might make the game better for the one who's losing, but it is making the game a lot worse to the one who's winning, which I feel like they just shouldn't do. The one who's losing has to get better at the game, and not you shouldn't penalty the one who's winning. So that's kind of strange. I don't know if it is actually controlled by like that, but I feel like it just can't be a coincidence, because it is like in every time it feels like the game is kind of trying to control itself. And then, like I said, the multiplayer is kind of screwed up. You just can't really find matches, and then when you have a match, they sometimes just freeze completely. But like I said at the beginning, this game is definitely the best to play with your friends and not online, because it is kind of glitchy and kind of hard to find good matches. But for the rest, it is just Risk. How you know it is the board game, but then digital with some errors. That is basically the shortest conclusion I can give this game. So if you like Risk, this is definitely a 2 buy, so I'm giving this a 2 buy. But if you don't like Risk and you just want a game to play, then this isn't for you, because it isn't perfect. And when you buy something and you're not really sure of if you really like it, and the game is a bit shit at the same time, then you're gonna get in trouble a bit with buying this game. But if you really like Risk, well, Risk is definitely in here, of course, because it is Risk. So if you enjoyed this review, be sure to click the like button to show your direct support. If you enjoy this channel, be sure to subscribe for more gaming content in your subscription box. Be sure to follow me on Twitter for even more updates. Share your own thoughts about this game in the comments, and then I will see you in the next one.